Today we are going to discuss about fifth unit. Fifth unit divided into 4 parts. Part A belongs to Introduction to 8051 microcontrollers. Part B belongs to 8051 instruction set and programming. Part C belongs to hardware features of 8051. Part D belongs to interfacing examples. Let us discuss about Part A, that is Introduction to 8051 microcontrollers. This part A consists of various topics. Those are Intel MCS 51 series microcontrollers, Intel 8051 architecture, memory organization, internal RAM structure, power control in 8051, and stack operation. Now let us see the differences between microprocessor and microcontroller. A microprocessor is a CPU of digital computer and needs external components such as memory, input devices, output devices, and decoders to function as a microcomputer system. In general, the microprocessor based system get data from the mass storage devices, that is RAM and ROM, and perform calculations using ALU and store the result in the storage devices. The examples of microprocessor are Intel 8085, 8086, 8088, 8186, 8286, 8386. These processors belongs to Intel family, and Zilog 80, Motorola 6800, 68000, 68030 belongs to Motorola. These processors may be either 8-bit processor or 16-bit or 32-bit or 64-bit processors. Now, microcontrollers are the processor chips that generally have memory, input ports, output ports within the chip itself. Therefore, they can also be called as single chip computers or computer on a chip or system on chip, that is SoC. The major difference between microprocessor and microcontrollers is that microcontrollers are comparatively faster because of reduced external memory accessing. The various examples of microcontrollers are Intel 8031, 8051, 8052, etc. Now let us see the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller by using diagrams. The microprocessor is a single chip, and RAM, ROM, I/O devices, timers, and serial communication ports are connected externally by using address and data bus to make a microprocessor based system. In microcontroller, all the components are integrated in a single chip called microcontroller. The components are fabricated or integrated in a single chip called CPU, RAM, ROM, I/O port, timer, serial COM port. This is the differences between microprocessor and microcontroller. In microprocessor, CPU is a standalone device. RAM, ROM, I/O timers are separated. In microcontroller, CPU, RAM, ROM, I/O devices, and timers are all integrated on a single chip. In microprocessor, designer can decide on the amount of RAM, ROM, I/O ports. In microcontroller, a fixed amount of on-chip memory and I/O ports are available. In microprocessor, the cost is more, that is a high expensive. Microcontroller, less expensive. In microprocessors are versatility, whereas in microcontroller for applications in which cost and power space are critical. And microprocessors are used general purpose, and microcontrollers are used for single purpose or specific application. Now let us see the Intel MCS51 series microcontrollers. Intel Corporation has many microcontrollers in both 8-bit and 16-bit configurations. The 8-bit microcontrollers in many part numbers MCS51 as the family name. The various MCS51 series microcontrollers, for example, 8XC51RD comes with the internal memory of 64 KB and 8XC51 family with only 32 KB memory. All the microcontroller chips are listed above have the same basic architecture. Now this table belongs to 8-bit microcontroller, belongs to Intel family. The first family 8031, it is 8-bit microcontroller. The internal capacity of RAM is 128 bytes, no room capacity. In 8051, it is 8-bit microcontroller. The internal RAM capacity is 128 bytes and internal ROM memory is 4 KB. And 8751H is 8-bit microcontroller. The capacity is 128 bytes of RAM memory internally and 4 KB EPROM memory. In 8052AH family, the data bus is 8-bit controller and 128 bytes of RAM memory and 4 KB, 8 KB ROM memory. And 8752BH, it is 8-bit microcontroller. The RAM capacity increases to 256 bytes and 8 KB ROM memory. Now let us see the internal architecture of 8051. The main features of 8051 chips are it is a 8-bit microprocessor and 4 KB of on-chip program memory and 128 bytes of on-chip data memory and 4 I/O ports of 8-bit each and 2 16-bit timers, full duplex serial port, on-chip clock oscillator. In addition to these above features, the microcontroller provides Boolean processing, 6 interrupt capabilities, and full-fledged CPU for control applications. And the 8051 is an 8-bit microcontroller. The data bus within and outside the chip is 8-bit wide. The address bus of 8051 is a 16-bit wide, so it can address 64 KB of memory, either program memory or data memory. The lower order address bus is multiplexed with data bus AD7 to AD0. The port 0 and port 2 pins of 8051 are multiplexed with address and data bus. This is the generalized block diagram of 8051 microcontroller. It consists of various blocks: CPU, memory, 4 KB ROM memory, 128 bytes RAM memory, 4 I/O ports, serial port communication, 2 timers, interrupt control facility, and clock oscillator and bus control mechanism. Now let us see the detailed block diagram of 8051. This diagram consists of internally various blocks called ALU, timing and control unit, and registers, accumulator, B register, port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, and program counter, DPTR, and timing and control unit, oscillators. Now let us see the pin diagram of 8051. The pin diagram of 8051 consists of 40 pins. It is a 40 pin IC, belongs to Intel family. Among 40 pins, 32 pins belongs to port lines, port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, and remaining 8 lanes belongs to some other operations. Those are reset, power supply, VCC and ground, and clock input signals, clock input pins, XTAL1, XTAL2, and ALE, EA bar, PSN bar. Among 4 ports, 3 ports are multiplexed with some other signals. Port 0 is multiplexed with AD0 to AD7. Port 2 is multiplexed with higher order address bus A8 to A15. Port 3 is multiplexed with some other signals which can carry or used for serial communication and used for interrupt purpose and used for timer operation and used to carry control signals. The ALE signal used to separate the multiplexed address and data lines, either address lines or data lines. And PSEN bar program store enable the external memory to perform read operation. And EA bar is active low signal which can enable the external memory access, data memory and program memory. And two power supply signals, VCC and ground, plus 5 volts is connected to VCC and 0 is connected to ground pin. And two clock input signals, a crystal oscillator is connected between these two pins XTAL1 and XTAL2 to provide a fixed frequency 12 MHz frequency. So the 8051 operated with 12 MHz clock frequency. And reset pin, it is active high input pin. You want to reset a processor or controller by sending a logic 1 to this pin, the controller becomes reset. So this is about the pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller. Now let us see the pin description of 8051. The VSS or ground, nothing but 0 volts is reference is connected to the pin. VCC, the power supply, plus 5 volts is connected to that pin. Port 0 is multiplexed with address and data lines. It is used as bidirectional IO lines or can be used as either address and data lines. And port 1 is 8-bit bidirectional IO port. And port 2 is multiplexed with higher order address bus A8 to A15, can be used as either bidirectional IO port or carries higher order 8-bit address A8 to A15. And port 3 is a bidirectional IO port and carries some other functions such as RxD, TxD, 2 interrupt signals and 2 timer signals and control signals. The reset pin is active high pin. This pin becomes high, the processor or controller enters into reset mode. And the pin ALE or PROG, this pin can latching the lower byte of the address during accessing external memory. The PSEN bar is called program store enable. This pin can enable the external program memory. And EA bar slash VPP belongs to external access memory or program supply voltage. If this pin is connected to logic low, the controller can access the external program memory or data memory. And if this pin is connected to plus 12 volts, the program can be stored by applying plus 12 volts into the memory. The two clock input pins, a crystal oscillator connected to these pins with capacitors of 30 picofarad to provide 12 MHz clock frequency to the controller. Now let us see the memory organization of 8051. In 8051, the memory is divided into two parts, program memory and data memory. The program memory called as read-only memory, the data memory called as read-write memory. The program and data memory can be within the chip or outside the chip. The Intel 8051 has 128 bytes of RAM and 4 kilobytes of ROM within the chip. And the address bus of 8051 is a 16-bit address bus, so you can access 64 KB of external memory, that is program memory and data memory. As the memory is organized separately as a program memory and data memory, the 8051 microcontroller can access 64 KB of program memory and 64 KB of data memory. The user can configure the entire program memory outside the chip or inside the chip, that is 4 KB of internal memory and 60 KB of external memory. The internal data memory is accessed with 8-bit address and the external data memory is with 16-bit address. So the maximum data memory that can be connected to the 8051 system is 64 KB memory. So this is the flowchart of memory organization. program memory and data memory. The program memory again divided into two memories, internal program memory and external program memory. In 8051, internal program memory is 4 KB, external program memory is connected externally 64 KB. In data memory, the internal data memory is 128 bytes of memory and external memory is 64 KB memory. So this is the program memory, internal 4 KB, external 60 KB, or completely external memory 64 KB memory. So depends upon the pin EA bar, either the controller can access the program completely from externally or from internal and external memory. If EA bar equal to 0, the controller can access the program from 64 KB external memory. If EA bar equal to 1, the controller can access the program from internally. This is the data memory. The data memory, internal memory 128 bytes and another 128 bytes reserved for SFR, special function registers, and external data memory is 64 KB memory. The internal RAM structure consists of two parts, 128 bytes internal RAM memory and another 128 bytes SFR registers. The internal RAM memory can be accessed by using direct and indirect addressing mode, and SFR memory can be accessed by using direct addressing mode. Now the 128 internal RAM memory divided into three parts, that is the address from 00 to 7FH is divided into three different groups. The first group, that is a total of 32 bytes from location 00 to 1FH or belongs to register bank and is also called as stack memory. And the second group consists of 12 bytes of locations, 16 bytes of locations, 20H to 2FH or belongs to bit addressable memory. And the third group belongs to 80 bytes memory from 30H to 7FH are used to perform read-write operation called as a byte addressable memory. So that is the total 128 bytes of RAM memory from 00 to 7FH divided into three groups. The first group belongs to 32 bytes of memory for reserved, act as a register bank memory, and total 16 bytes of memory from 20H to 2FH belongs to bit addressable memory, and last 80 bytes from location 30H to 7FH are used to perform read-write operation called scratchpad memory or byte addressable memory. Now the internal RAM memory divided into different addresses. So the lower 32 bytes belongs to register banks. Again, register banks, 4 banks are available: register bank 0, register bank 1, register bank 2, register bank 3. In each bank, it consists of 8 registers R0 to R7. So each bank size is 8 bytes. So you can access the data from that each bank by using address of that bank or register in the bank. Let us consider register bank 0. The bank 0 size is 00 to 7FH, 07H. So total 8 locations are reserved for bank 0. You want to access the data from each location directly from the address or address of the register R0 to R7. Similarly, bank 1, it is 8 address locations reserved for bank 1. 8 address locations belongs to 8 registers R0 to R7. Bank 2 belongs to address range 10 to 17H. 8 locations are reserved for bank 2. You can access the data from bank 2 using address of the register, address of the data, or register from the register R0 to R7. Similarly, bank 3 address 18H to 17H. So total register bank registers are 32 registers. These 32 registers belongs to R0 to R7. So R0 register in bank 0 having 00H address R0 address in bank 1 having the address 080H, R0 address in bank 2 having 10H, R0 address in bank 3 having 180H. So the R0 address having 4 addresses. These 4 addresses belongs to 4 banks. Similarly, R7 register address in each bank is different. That is 07H in bank 0, 0FH in bank 1, 17H in bank 2, 1FH in bank 3. Next, the 16 bytes of memory from 20 to 2FH called as bit addressable memory. The controller can access data either bitwise or byte data from that 16 address locations. In case of bitwise, the processor can access the data bitwise. The total locations are 128 bit addressable locations from 00 to 7FH. Each location can store only 1 bit of data. Or you want to perform byte operation, the address locations are 22 to 2FH. Next, the upper 80 address locations are 30 to 3FH. These 80 address locations can store byte of data memory. So it belongs to byte addressable area. Now let us see the byte addressable and bit addressable memory. In that, the internal RAM memory again similar to divided into 3 parts. 32 bytes belongs to 4 banks, 20 bytes belongs to bit addressable area, and 16 bytes belongs to byte addressable area. In bit addressable area, the address 20H, that is byte address, contains 8 locations. 8 locations means 8 bit addressable memory locations, 00 to 07H. You want to access the first bit of 20H byte memory by using either bit address or position of that byte address. For example, 20.0H represent the first bit of that 8-bit data. 20.1 belongs to second bit of data from that byte value. So we can access the data from that bit address location or specific point in that byte of data. Next one, 80 address locations reserved for general purpose, that is 30 to 7FH, which can store the data in byte of data. Now let us see the programming model of 8051. This programming model internal consists of registers and memory locations, that is internal data memory, internal row memory. The internal data memory, that is 00 to 7FH, divided into different groups: register bank 0, 1, 2, 3, and bit addressable memory, and general purpose RAM, and another 128 bytes belongs to special function registers 80 to FFH, and internal row memory is 4 KB memory. So this 4 KB memory can be accessed by using 12 address lines. The address range is 000H to FFFH. So 30H to 3FH. Now let us see the special function registers. In 8051, there are 21 special function registers are available. We can access these registers directly or address of the register in the special function register address range. The special function register address range is 80H to FFH. Among these 128 locations, 21 address locations belongs to 21 registers. Those are special function registers F0, P0, port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, and stack pointer, DPL, DPH, PCON, TCON, TMOD, TL0, TL1, TH0, TH1, SCON, serial buffer, IE, IP, PSW, accumulator, B registers. So 8051 consists of 21 registers called as SFRs. These 21 registers are perform different operations. Those are accumulators, A and B registers called as accumulator registers, one PSW called as process status word, and IO port registers P0, P1, P2, P3, and data pointer registers DPH and DPL, serial data buffer register SBUF, stack pointer SP, 4 timer registers TH0, TH1, TL0, TL1, all are 8-bit registers, timer control registers TCY and TMOD, power and port control registers PCYN and SCYN, interrupt control registers IP and IE. Among these 21 registers, 11 registers belongs to bit addressable registers and 10 registers called as byte addressable registers. That is, in bit addressable register, the programmer can access bit data from the register or byte data from the register. What is a byte addressable register means the programmer can access 8-bit data or byte of data from the register. So among 21 registers, the accumulator A, B, PSW, P0, P1, P2, P3, IP, IE, TCYN and SCYN are belongs to 8-bit bit addressable registers, and SP, DPH, DPL, TMOD, TL0, TL1, TH0, TH1 and serial buffer register, power control register, all the 10 bytes addressable registers. Now let us see the registers format of special function register. A register called as accumulator. The A register is a general purpose register used to store the data temporarily and store the result after operation. It is a bit addressable register. You can access the bit data from the register. And B register is used to perform the same operation just like accumulator. And A and B registers are default registers to perform some operation like multiplication and division operations. So to perform multiplication operation, both A and B registers contains the operands. After multiplication, result will be stored in same registers. Similarly, for division operation, the operands must be stored in A and B registers, and result will be stored in A and B registers directly. The DPTR is a 16-bit register, but the 16-bit register is not available in 8051. This register is obtained by combining two 8-bit registers DPH and DPL. DPH represent data pointer higher, DPL data pointer low. So this register can store the 16-bit address of external data memory or external program memory. Whenever processor can access the data or instruction from external memory by using DPTR. Here the DPTR contains 16-bit data. The lower 8-bit data is stored in DPL register, higher 8-bit data stored in DPH register. The stack pointer is 8-bit register which can store the address of the stack. Here the stack is a limited memory. This memory is available in internal RAM memory. The stack can store the data temporarily. The value stored into the stack pointer pointing to the first stack address. When stack pushes increment the value in stack pointer by 1 and stack pops decrements its value by 1. Upon reset operation or power on operation, the 07H is loaded into the stack pointer. That is, the space of RAM is reserved for the stack starts at this location. If any another value is returned or stored into the stack register, the stack is moved to the new memory location. There are 4 registers for ports: P0, P1, P2, P3. These registers called as IO registers. If neither external memory nor serial communication system are used, then 4 ports within the total of 32 IO pins are available for connection to peripheral environment. Each bit within these ports affects the state and performance of the appropriate pin of the microcontroller. That is, the logic state is reflected on appropriate pin as a voltage, either 0 volts or 5 volts, and vice versa. The voltage on a pin reflects the state of appropriate port pin. As mentioned, port bit state affects performance of port pins. whether they will be configured as input and output. If a bit is cleared in the register, the appropriate pin will be configured as output pin. When it is set 1, the appropriate pin will be considered as input pin. Upon the reset and power on, all ports are set. That is, all port lines used as input ports. Now the program status word, also called as flag register, which consists of various flags: carry flag, auxiliary carry flag, flag 0, RS1, RS0, overflow, parity. Among these 8 bits, the 5 bits belongs to 5 flags, 2 bits belongs to register select bits, register bank select bits, and 1 flag belongs to user flag 0, and 1 bit is don't care. The PSW is one of the most important register in special function register. It contains several status bits that reflect the current state of the CPU. The PSW contains carry flag, auxiliary carry flag, 2 register banks select bits, overflow flag, parity bit, and user definable status flag. If parity flag is set if accumulator contains odd number of ones after any ALU operation, and this bit is set to 0 if the accumulator contains even number of ones. So the result in accumulator is even parity, the parity flag is 0, odd parity flag is 1. This flag is set during ALU overflow flag. This flag is set during ALU operation to indicate overflow is the result. It is set to 1 if there is a carry out from either D7 bit or D6 bit of the accumulator. If overflow flag is set when arithmetic operations such as add and subtract result in sign conflict. So this overflow flag is set for signed arithmetic operations. General purpose flag 0, this is user programmable flag. The user can program and store any bit in this flag using the bit address. The auxiliary carry flag used in BCD operations. This flag is set when there is a carry out of the D3 bit of the accumulator. The carry flag is used to indicate the carry generated after any arithmetic operation. It can also be used as an accumulator to store one of the data bits for bit related Boolean instructions. If carry generated during arithmetic operation, that is carry generated from D7 bit, then carry flag is set. So the difference between overflow flag and carry flag is, in overflow flag, if carry generated from D7 bit or D6 bit during signed arithmetic operations, then overflow flag is set. The carry flag is set depends upon the unsigned arithmetic operations. If carry generated from D7 bit during unsigned arithmetic operations. The register bank select bits RS1 and RS0. These bits are user programmable. They can be set by the programmer to point to the correct register bank. The register bank selection is in the program can be changed by using these 2 bits. RS1, RS0, these 2 bits 00, the processor or controller select bank 0. Both bits are 01, bank 1. Both bits are 10, bank 2. And both bits are 11, bank 3 is selected. Each bank consists of 8 address locations: 00 to 07, 08 to 0F, 10 to 17, 18 to 1FH. Again, each bank consists of 8 registers R0 to R7. So you can access the data from that bank by using address of that data or through register R0 to R7. Now let us see the power control in 8051. The 8051 has various power control modes which are used to control the power consumed by the microcontroller chip. Some of the mode bits let the microcontroller enter into the sleep mode, or which makes it consumes lesser power during normal operation. The power control mode are selected through the special function register called PCON, power control register. It is a 8-bit register Each bit represents a specific operation. The bit 0 belongs to IPL, that is idle mode set bit. Bit 1 represents power down mode bit. Bit 2 represents GF0, that is general purpose flag 0. Bit 3 represents GF1, general purpose flag 1. And bit 4, 5, 6 are don't cares and reserved for some other applications. And bit 7 is a serial port baud rate bit select bit. The 8051 operates in two modes, idle mode and power down mode. These mode of operations can be set or reset by programming power control register of 8051. In idle mode, the oscillator continues to run and interrupt serial port and timer blocks are active, but the clock given to the controller is disabled. The controller status is preserved. This mode can be terminated by using hardware interrupt or hardware reset signal. After this, the controller resumes the program execution from where it is left over. In power down mode, the on-chip oscillator is stopped. All the functions of controller are held remaining the contents of RAM. The only way to terminate this mode is a hardware reset. The reset redefines all the SFRs, but RAM contents are left unchanged. Both of these modes can be entered by setting or resetting the respective bit in an internal register called PCON by using instruction or software. The stack operation of 8051. The stack is a section of RAM memory used by the controller or processor to store the information temporarily. This information may be either data or address. When a processor executes a push and pop instruction, the stack can store the data. When the controller executes like instruction call, jump instruction, conditional instructions, the stack stores the address onto the stack memory. The register used to access the stack memory is called stack pointer. The stack pointer in 8051 is only 8-bit register, that is, it can take value from 00 to FFH. When 8051 is powered on, the stack pointer contains the initial value 07H. The RAM location 080H is the first location begins for the stack by the 8051. The storing of the CPU register in the stack is called push operation. In this operation, the stack pointer pointing to the last address of the stack. As we push the data on the stack pointer is incremented by 1. This is different from the microprocessor stack operation. Loading the content of stack back to the CPU register is called pop. So this is about stack operation in 8051. So these are the various important questions belongs to 8051 microcontroller. First one, what is the size of on-chip program memory and on-chip data memory of 8051? The solution or answer for this question is, the on-chip program memory is 4 KB ROM and on-chip data memory is 128 bytes memory. So the internal memory in 8051 is 4 KB ROM, 128 bytes RAM. Now second question, analyze the stack operation in 8051. Third one, give at least 2 situations which overflow flag is set in 8051. This overflow flag is set during signed arithmetic operations. That is, if D7 bit is 1, the number is negative, 0, positive. So depends upon the addition of 2 positive numbers or negative numbers, or positive and negative numbers. The overflow flag is set or reset, depends on the result. Next question, what is the need for bit addressable in 8051? In 8051, 128-bit addressable locations are available in internal RAM memory from 20H to 2FH. These bit addressable memory can store bit of data and retrieve the bit data from that memory. So total 128 bit addressable locations. Next question, what does 0 in 0 flag after arithmetic operation means? If 0 flag is 0, that indicates after any ALU operation, the result in accumulator is not 0. The result is not equal to 0, the 0 flag is 0. Next question, where are the registers R0 to R7 located in 8051 microcontroller? So these registers R0 to R7 called as register bank select registers. These registers are available in register banks, bank 0, bank 1, bank 2, bank 3. These banks are selected based on 2 bits RS1 and RS0 in PSW register format. So these registers are available in internal RAM memory from 00 to 1FH. These 32 bytes belongs to register bank registers reserved for registers R0 to R7. Next one, in the program status word of 8051, the bits RS0 and RS1 becomes 1 and 0, then which register bank is selected for the operation? So the RS0 and RS1 becomes 1 0, that is bank 1 is selected. Bank 1 contains 8 registers from 08 to 0F H address locations. Now let us see the 10 marks questions. With a neat sketch, explain the architecture of 8051. Next, describe about Intel MCS 51 series microcontroller and Intel 8051 architecture. The neat sketch, explain the architecture of 8051. Discuss about power control in 8051 and its memory organization. Why microcontrollers are called single chip computers, and explain. So this is about the introduction to microcontroller concept. So this part consists of various topics: 8051 architecture, pin diagram, memory organization, internal RAM structure, and special function registers, power control in 8051, and stack operation in 8051 microcontroller.